I didn't expect such nice and overwhelmingly positive reactions for my first Hollow Knight video, especially considering it was my first ever YouTube video. But you guys really seem to like it, and I really appreciate all your support. At the end of that video I asked you if you wanted to see a part 2, and the overall consensus was positive, so here it is! I have read every single comment you left in that video, and I took them all into consideration, both the compliments and criticism, and obviously all the suggestions for the characters you wanted to see next. I picked the most popular character suggestions. If I haven't chosen your favorite character, it's nothing personal against them. Sadly, no one mentioned the brooding Moloch. One day, my darling. If there's a character you really want to see in a future video, write it down in the comments. And without further ado, let's start with... As I said in my previous video, actually I have the sketch for Graham finished and was about to do it, but couldn't procrastinate more on these videos. So yeah, time for everyone's favorite Tumblr sexy man. I mean, how can you not love Graham? He's an artist, a leader, a single father raising a child, a man of many talents with a soothing voice and a definitely not at all infuriating final battle. I don't want to spend too much time on explaining the lore and backstory of each one of the characters. The people who know the lore are gonna find it extremely basic and repetitive, while the people that haven't played the game are probably not going to understand what is going on even if I explain it. The game's lore is extensive and kinda weird. Since I don't want people to be extremely confused while watching this video, I'll just give some context. Troop Master Grimm, the leader of a mysterious traveling circus that appears in town after you light magical fire. After encountering the main character, Grimm commands them on a mission to take care of his child and make the child consume magical fire. I told you this game was weird. For my take on Grimm, I wanted to go full circus on him. I don't think he reads as a ringmaster, more as an acrobat, which is the approach I decided to go with, especially considering his battle and the way he attacks. Yeah, the pose I went with is from one of his attacks. And okay, so I usually try to respect the character's body type when doing human versions, but hear me out. This guy's basically a stick. Like he's a performer at a circus. A weird, dark, cult-like circus, but a circus nonetheless. And he's constantly jumping and pirouetting in battle. This man is fit, so I wanted to draw him as the sort of guy that could never skip leg day. Also, unlike most characters in Hollow Knight, Grimm isn't based on any specific insect. According to a deleted Q&A stream with Tim Cherry, they explained that Grimm was based on Dracula, circuses, and Halloween vibes, which didn't really leave me a lot to work with. So I just tried to make him as extra as possible, with dark makeup, vampiresque vibes, fancy clothes. Let's say that he's lazy in more than one way. I also did my version of the Grimm child because, come on, he's a silly little guy. A very useless silly little guy that can't ever aim at the targets, but a silly little guy nonetheless. I only added them because I had the idea of throwing the Grimmkin as a doll for the child, and it was too cute not to include. But yeah, gotta admire Grimm for being a decent father, a very rare sight on Hallownest. The most requested character by far was Quirel. You guys were really, and I mean really, passionate about him. And that's a very normal reaction, because Quirel is awesome. If you need advice, or help fighting a giant jellyfish, or just some company when you're chilling on a bench, you better believe Quirel will be there. Or at least he will be there. Rest in peace, legend. Oh, but his fate is up to interpretation. Team Cherry didn't... Shut up! He died for our sins. Let's respect that. Okay. Finn, focus. Or should I say, deep focus. Get it? The joke is that this term sucks. Anyways, I'm gonna try to explain my design choices for human Quirel. As you can see, I was heavily inspired by Japanese warriors and samurais for his design. My two main reasons were that he gives me this sort of samurai vibes when he attacks Umu, and my second reason is that samurais are very cool. Sometimes you just gotta allow yourself to go with a cool option. A pet peeve that I have for some human designs of Quirel is that they tend to portray him too young. While Quirel's exact age is not specified in the game, It's stated that he's an old man, but most human designs I've seen portray him like he's in his 20s. Like, I know there are many artists scared of old people, but sometimes you gotta face your fears and stop twinkifying every character you like. Out of all the characters I've drawn so far, I feel that Quirel has been the easiest and most straightforward, which is in part due to how much I love his character. I wanna give this little advice to artists that are thinking of starting any sort of social media account. Draw the type of art you want to see and the type of content that resonates with you. When I truly love what I'm doing is when my art is at its best. Don't care that much about what's trendy or what you think other people will like, but create what you like. When I posted the first Hollow Knight video that I created mostly for myself, I was definitely not expecting such a nice and welcoming reaction. And not only I had fun making the video that I wanted to make, but many people with similar interests to mine found this channel. Then, for my second YouTube video, I made this story time, and it's not that I hated making it, but I wasn't having that much fun. I made it because I needed to make a video quickly, and I knew that story times were popular, so I tried, and yes, you can see the comparison. So yeah, I just wanted to give my 2 cents for any artists that are struggling with building an online presence. Make art that you want to make, because that way you build the audience you are looking for, and if the videos flop, you'll still be satisfied with your hard work. Well, so back to Quirel. At this point, the illustration was basically done. Everything left was just rendering, correcting some imperfections, adding small details, and focusing on his expression. I wanted to make him look like a very nice, wise, and calm man. In this universe, he'd definitely be some kind of father figure to the knight, which is a nice contrast to their actual dad. And speaking about their father...
Ako mania.
I dare you to find worse parents than the Pale King and the White Lady. I'd like to talk more about the parental relationship these two have with the main characters, but I think if I start explaining that part of the lore, YouTube is not gonna be very happy. So, I'm just gonna talk about the monarchs themselves. The Pale King is a worm, a giant worm-like creature that created the kingdom of Hallownest. Well, he was. But after that first form passed away, he became this much smaller insect. I gave him a crown in the shape of his head for obvious reasons. For his hair, I gave him a very long braid that kinda resembles his worm form. And for his outfit, I went with a regal armor, darker tights, and the cape he's wearing in the game, all in different shades of grey. If you take a closer look, you can see how I use patterns from the architecture of the White Palace for his armor design. And yes, I gave him very fancy boots with high heels. First of all, because it wasn't rare for kings to wear heels, but mainly because he is a sword king and I wanted to accentuate even harder his size difference with the White Lady. And now to the White Lady. I tried searching what type of bug she is, and she's supposed to be a root. Yeah. I gave her a very intricate hairstyle that resembles the roots that come out of her head. I added pearls all over her design to mimic the light particles that are all around her dwelling in the Queen's Garden, while the corset she's wearing has patterns of the White Palace, like the King's armor. The White Lady is a very mysterious character. There is not much information I could find about her apart from the fact that she used to be the Queen and that she secluded and imprisoned herself because she couldn't stop herself from breathing non-stop. See, this is why I'm focusing mainly on just talking about the designs. I don't want to freak out any non-gamer with the lore, but guys, I swear this game is so good and the lore itself is very interesting. Please listen to me, check this game, I swear it's good. And these are all the designs for today's video. There are many characters in Hollow Knight. So if you've liked this video and want to see more parts of this series, let me know. Also, if you haven't watched it already, I recommend checking the first part of the series, where I draw the Knight, Hornet and Dunk Defender. I've also made a video about the Hollow Knight themselves, but that one is Patreon exclusive content because, let's say it's a bit too much on the body horror side, and I was afraid YouTube couldn't like it. And talking about my patrons, thank you for your support. Blanca Lee Jones, Soapy Soapster, Sprocket Rocket, D, Nattip Art, Orsi T, Austin Graff, and Jinx Studios. You've helped me a lot to continue making videos like this one. I hope you like it and see you in the next one. I really hope Silksong releases before I run out of characters.